Absolutely. There's an old saying. That's why we play the game. Ain't that right?
I'll
tell you that now.
That's why we play the game.
Absolutely.
The time is now. On everything. Took my heart away from money. I ain't interested in fame. And I pray that never change. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins. And I put that on my name.
Only hope I had was selling dope. Was on my grind cause times was harder than to sell a float. My mama taught me never steal and never telling folks. I grew up looking up the niggas that was selling coke. Oh, I was raised by the stop sign. No religion, I was getting saved by the Glock 9. By the minute I was getting paid like the hotline. Serving rolling, fiends was calling. We was that kind, well connected, well respected and well protected. And get accepted, was rejected and they regretted. And get my message, wasn't signal when I was texting. The niggas I was calling was fraud and I learned my lesson. Now I move with aggression, use my mind as a weapon. Cause chances are never given, they took them like interceptions.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast with your one and only host, Cameron Williams. And today I'm here live at Hightower High School, and I have bringing to y'all another interview. Today I'm here with the head coach, Coach Cornelius Anthony. Coach Cornelius Anthony. Thank you so much. Doing great. How you doing, sir? Thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule to sit down and come on the show and talk and chat with me for a little bit. I know your schedule's a lot busy, okay? And I know right now, I'm pretty sure y'all are getting ready for you to debut this upcoming Thursday against Clear Falls. Not pretty sure. I know that's what y'all are doing, okay? The only goal here is to win and win on. So, Coach, this is year 15 for you. It's going to be entering year 15 for you, right? Correct. You have one, I know you're a big Aggies guy. You were a three-year varsity starter and a 4-year letterman. You started off, I know it started off at Georgia Junior High for your coaching career, and you got your first head coaching job in 2017 with Terry High School. Correct. Did 5 years there, came up, and then before getting the job to be the head honcho here at Hurricane Lane, which has been phenomenal. You've been the regionals 2 out of the last 3 years. So if you don't mind me asking, I'm going to open up with this first question. What inspired you to get into coaching? What made you want to get into coaching?
Yeah, so it's funny you ask. Like, as I was playing professional football, honestly, coaching wasn't on my radar. Like, I just thought that was so cliche. But I always loved kids. Like in college, we had this program called Aggie Athletes Involved, where you mentor kids who were maybe at-risk youth or whatever, and I loved it. I loved being able to do that. So what I wanted to do was be a professional mentor. I even got my master's in psychology, so I'll just have some credentials that when I approach school districts and mentoring that at-risk youth, I had some credentials behind my name. And so this kind of all happened around 2008. I retired from the CFL. But at that time too, the market crashed. And so the money that they had for programs like that all dried up. And so, being retired from football, can't play football anymore, and have the rest of my life to live. I have a wife and 4 kids, and just trying to figure out what am I going to do next? What is there next for me? I was like, well, let me just go into teaching and coaching, and maybe just do this temporarily until I figure out what I want to do.
Right.
Well, I got into it, and I've been doing it ever since. And it's just who I am. It's truly my calling. I'm an ordained minister. I don't know if, a lot of people don't know that about me. I'm an ordained minister, and being a football coach, the sideline, the locker room, the field house, that's my pulpit. Right. So I'm able to, through the game of football, be able to truly impact and touch the lives of young people and make a difference in their lives and help them be all that they aspire to be through the game of football. So, it was a match made in heaven. Like, this is who I am. I'm a football coach.
Absolutely. No, you definitely are. Seeing that the work you did, including last year, had a phenomenal run last year. Y'all went all the way to the 4th round. Unfortunately, ended against Summer Creek, but a lot of schools don't even get that far. Y'all were one game away from getting ready to go up there to Jerry's World.
Yes.
And I want to ask you about that. That team last year had great cohesiveness and had great team chemistry. Most importantly, y'all had great seniors leading the bunch, and guys like Zion Kearney going to OSU, guys like, of course, Jeremy Payne, 4-star, 5-star running back, going to TCU, and of course, guys like Makai Davis, Tyrell Potter, Jaquel Morris, and Cody Jones, and guys like that. Who are some guys this year who you feel like we don't know yet, but are also the audience wants to know who's going to make some splash headways this upcoming season?
I think guys like Austin Bourne. Austin Bourne, running back, he is a guy who is a phenomenal runner. He was behind Jeremy Payne for the past 3 years. When Jeremy got hurt, when Austin was a sophomore, in 5 games, he had close to 1,000 yards. So he's going to be a phenomenal talent and player for us. You have LaDamian McDowell. He is an all-state running back.
Absolutely.
First team all-state running back.
Came out of Pearland,
yes. He moved over here from Pearland, and he's going to do a phenomenal job for us. I'm definitely chomping at the bit and very excited about what he's going to do and contribute to our team. Camden Emmanuel, quarterback. This guy's a prototypical quarterback, 6'3", 215, 4'5", 40, and can throw like has a rocket of an arm and is pinpoint accurate. He's gonna make waves. A guy by Dontrell Fisher, the guy we call Paco, he's a receiver. He is a big play guy. He's going to make a splash and a name for himself here on Hurricane Lane. And then you have guys like Ashford Landhart.
Absolutely. Sat
behind Zion Kearney, kind of like the Austin Bourne situation where like this is his year to shine. He's a big play receiver, big play guy. He's going to do a phenomenal job for us. And then the thing I'm most excited about, especially being an old defensive coach, our offensive line is going to be serious. And leading the pack is Dylan Turner, Jaden McAllister, and Johnny Mauricio, and then you have Jonathan Marshall at center. So, like those guys, our offensive line blocking for LaDamian and Austin are going to be spectacular. Mike Amy, Cade Phillips, 4-star. He's really kind of like our Travis Hunter. He plays offense and defense. Cade Phillips, he plays receiver on offense, definitely a deep threat guy, and then, plays lockdown corner on defense. Like I said, Mike Amy, Caden Slater, Devin Phillips, like the list goes on and on the guys that we have that are going to contribute, that are going to do a phenomenal job for us, and like you said, make a name for themselves. Make a name for themselves. A lot of people have written us off and think that, because we lost such a talented senior class last year with Dalen Ellis and Jeremy and Zion and all those guys that you named, that the Hurricanes are all but forgotten almost, But one of the things you say on Hurricane Lane, we don't rebuild, we reload, and that's what we did. And so I'm thankful that we have a great group of young men this year that are going to make a name for themselves and do phenomenal things.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it as well. Now, obviously a new group coming in. As the first thing as a head coach, we always know that your job as a head coach is not only, it goes way farther than just the X and O. It's about being a leader amongst men, and for your case, being a leader amongst young men.
Right.
So what are some traits that you're looking for? When you're looking for, okay, who's going to be my starters, who are going to be my reserves, all that kind of stuff. When you're putting your pieces into place on 11 sides, on both sides of the ball, what are some traits and some qualities of leaders that you're looking for, that guys to come in and show you, like before the season even gets underway? What are some traits that you're looking for in these young men? So
one of the things I always tell my guys is the best ability is availability. You got to be here.
Absolutely.
So during the summer, it starts. So the season doesn't start in the fall. The season starts in the off season. Right. The season starts in SAC camp. The season starts during that time.
Right.
The best ability, so you got to be here in the summer. Are you committed to the summer workouts? Are you doing things, going the second mile? Are you doing things above and beyond outside of the stuff that we do? Like outside of SAC camp, are you meeting with the guys and y'all coming up here and training and working on different things as a group or as a team, as a program? Teams that are coach-led are good teams, but teams that are player-led
are even better teams.
Are phenomenal teams. And so those are the things that I'm looking for. are you available? Can I trust you? Because when you break football down to the bare bones, can you follow instructions? That's it. Because what is a play? A set of instructions. Each player has a set of instructions that play dictates that they do. And your ability to follow those instructions and execute those instructions will determine our success as a team. So to answer your question, the thing that I'm looking for is, can you follow instructions even with the little things? Because how you do anything is how you do everything.
Right.
So if I tell you to clap, if I tell you that when I say ready, set, go, you clap, do you clap or do you just take the play off? Or like small things that make a huge difference. So it's all about, and that tells me and shows me whether or not I can trust you to execute on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night. Small things, but I'm observing everything. And one thing that my guys know is that we observe and we watch everything that they do, because it's gonna be like that when you get to college.
Right, absolutely.
When you get to college, it's not about athleticism, because everybody's big, fast, athletic, and can play football. But it's all about who can go out there, make the least amount of mental mistakes, and who can execute the game plan efficiently and the best. And so we try to train our guys to pay attention to those small details, to take coaching and be able to apply coaching early on when they first get here, so that the transition to college, they're on point. And so those are the things that I look for to determine to me whether or not we're going to have a good team. How well do they respond to coaching, how available they are. And the thing I love about this group is that they work hard. Anytime we open the doors, they're here, they're early, and they're ready, they're hungry, and they want to work.
They're ready to work, and they're ready to get better each and every single day.
Each and every single day.
And I know as a coach, that's music to your ears, because you see guys that want it, and when you have guys that want it, as your job as a coach, that has to make it a lot easier, to get the best out of them, because they want it in themselves. You see what I'm saying? They're doing this stuff, outside of practice, at home, and I know for coaches that makes it a lot more easier.
Yes, sir. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir.
So now, what would you say your coaching philosophy is as a head coach, and how would you say it reflects your approach and your consistent niche to the game?
Well, my coaching philosophy is simple. We're going to play hard, we're going to play fast, we're going to keep it simple, because I don't want guys out there thinking or overthinking. I want them playing fast. I want them to be able to rely on their athletic ability and be able to execute the play that's called with fidelity. So play hard, play fast, do everything in excellence. I truly believe my coaching philosophy is this. Because I have to, see, I'm not the one that's playing. I played professional football, I played D1 football, and so I have to be able to rely on you and trust you to be able to go out there and execute the game plan that my coaches and myself have spent hours to put it together so that you can be successful on the field. So for me as a head coach, and as in our program in general, we focus and spend a lot of time on character development. We focus and spend a lot of time on making men who are trustworthy, who understand that they are part of something that's bigger than themselves, and that they ride for the brand. And we spend a lot of time letting our guys know that we truly care about them as individuals, because people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. When they know you care about them, they will run through a brick wall for you. So because we spend so much time on character development, because we spend so much time letting our kids know that we truly care about them and we are invested in them as a person, the byproduct is winning.
Absolutely.
That's the byproduct, winning. Because we got guys out there who we can trust to execute the game plan. We got guys out there who bleed green, hurricane green, and will do everything in their power not to let their brother or their coaches down.
Absolutely. Great answer. I love that answer right there, Coach. Absolutely. And now with that being said, that's now a new, like you said, new players, gonna be some new faces, some guys that don't know each other early in the season. As a head coach, in what ways, how do you best in the foster collaboration and build team camaraderie around them to get them closer together, especially if it's a newer group?
Yeah, for sure. So, and that's where your off season comes into place. That's where SAC camp, strength and conditioning, comes into place, because it is in the crucible of the grind, because we make it hard. And we separate the men from the boys, and in that off season and in that SAC camp, people find out real quick whether or not they want, if this is for them.
This is for, oh yeah.
But if you, it's kind of like, you think about this. Every branch of military, whether it's Army, Navy, Marines, you go through basic training, a boot camp.
Right.
And it's through that boot camp where those soldiers become a family. They become a unit. They become one. They think and move as one. And it's the same thing for us with our off-season program. It's the same thing for us with our SAC camp. It's through that grind and that crucible of the grind where they come together and they become a true family. They become a team. And on top of that, we celebrate at the break of SAC camp with a team party or function. Yeah, so, those are the ways we foster collaboration. And then, just having time and situations where the guys come up and spend time together outside of practice. Outside of those things that we mentioned earlier, like SAC camp, where true brotherhood and bonding is formed. And it hits different when I'm blocking for my brother as opposed to my teammate.
Right.
I'm not going to, if I miss the block and let my teammate down, it's okay, but I'm definitely not going to leave my brother out there.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like the bond between what your left tackle should be and your quarterback. If you're protecting your quarterback's blind side, you should always take that person. If you see your quarterback get on the ground, you should never want that to happen.
Exactly. And so that's how you foster that collaboration and that team building and teamwork and just that brotherhood. And that's what it is. It's a brotherhood. It's a family.
It's a family, absolutely. Hurricane, it definitely is. Definitely a family. So now let me ask you this, and a little fun question now, if you don't mind. So was there, if you have one, was there any coach you look up to, probably like in the pros or the college, like a guy like Nick Saban, I heard you say before, Tony Dungy, there's some coach that you looked up to model kind of like your coaching style after? I know you're defensive minded, so that's why I'm throwing out defensive minded coaches like Dan Campbell, Robert Sala, because I'm a little young, but any coaches that you looked up to kind of shape the way how you want to run your program?
For sure, no. So I'll even take it a step further, and even not like, the well-known professional coaches, but my high school coach, my position coach first, Rick Carpenter. He was a guy that was very instrumental in, just laying the foundation of a coach who was very knowledgeable, but who cared. Up until that point, I had coaches that, just yelled at you and grabbed you by the face mask, but Coach Carpenter was very personable. He was very knowledgeable. He gave me the tools that I needed to be an all-state linebacker at Elkins High School. And he was, to this day, him and I are very good friends, and we call and check up on each other. And he's in the Texas Coaching Hall of Fame as one of the best baseball coaches there is, And so he's a guy, Coach Rick Carpenter, my defensive coordinator in high school, Ted Harris, another one. My head coach, Andy Bowden, another one. All these are high school coaches that had a very impactful just mark on my life and help mold me into the person that I am today. And so it all started in high school for me. And I had great coaches along the way, R.C. Slocum, Denny Crehan, when I played in the CFL, those are guys, but those are guys that were my coaches specifically that really had a very positive impact on my life and just on who I am as a man today. But just guys that I kind of see from afar, but never had really any personal interaction with, are guys like your Mike Tomlins, Tony Dungy, guys. Those are guys who I can definitely just kind of see that we have very similar styles. Nick Saban is another.
Oh, absolutely. Just
because he's a no-nonsense guy. I'm the same way, no nonsense, and I'm going to demand excellence from you.
You demand excellence, demand your best.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And whatever you say, like I said, and I'm pretty sure you're one of those coaches that always say that don't listen to how I say, listen to what I say.
Correct, because it's coming from a place of love, but if you apply it, it's gonna make you better.
Absolutely,
it's gonna make you better. I might yell, I might fuss, I might scream, but it's all because I see greatness in you, and I want, and I'm gonna get that greatness out of you, because honestly, that's what good coaches do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what the difference between, I want to say, award-winning programs, just your average and everyday,
Correct.
high school football programs. The fact that you and your co-coach, Coach Coleman, Coach McNeil, I know your whole Coach Joey Ayala.
Yeah,
Shout out to Ayala. I know all y'all get the best out of each and every single one of these young men that that play for y'all. So that's definitely dope to see. That's definitely. So now another question I want to ask you now. Obviously, big time receiver last year. I want to ask you. Well, was Zion Kearney was hurt last year? He was out the majority of y'all playoff run. Still had a fantastic playoff run. How do y'all change circumstances? How do y'all change the training portfolio? And how do y'all change the game plan throughout a week? Especially if it's a big time match coming up and say there's a player that you heavily utilize and has a huge usage rate. How do y'all kind of change up the game plan, both whether that comes from an offensive standpoint or a defensive standpoint?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So the thing is this: in football, you have to be able to adapt. Okay. Bottom line is this: there have been times when I was a defensive coordinator that we spent all week working on a game plan, thinking that this game plan was the answer to whatever this opponent like to do, and I ended up having to scrap it after the first drive and go back to playing our base defense and been successful and shut them out. You have to be able to adapt.
Make an in-game adjustment.
That's what a coach is all about. A good coach is able to adapt. And so when we lost a high quality, high productive player like Zion, we just had to figure out, okay. And now here's another thing I love about being at Hightower. It's the next man up mentality.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a next man up mentality. When you lose a player like Zion, or like I said, when Jeremy got hurt, you got an Austin Bowen waiting in the wings that just wait for his opportunity and his chance. And even though Austin was a sophomore, he had close to 1,000 yards in 5 games. So it's just, it's unfortunate that Zion got hurt, but it provided an opportunity for Ashford Lanhart to be able to play and showcase what he could do. It provided an opportunity for us to think. That's when Cade really came alive. When Zion got hurt, Cade started averaging almost 40 yards a catch, because he became that deep ball target that we were missing in Zion. So it just gives an opportunity for those other guys who are just as talented, but just maybe under the radar, the opportunity to shine. So it is truly a next man up mentality. And of course, yes, as coaches, we have to make in-game adjustments or, personnel adjustments when you lose a guy like a Zion Kearney in the middle of the season when you're trying to make a playoff run. But we don't sweat it. We just go back in the drawing board. We make those adjustments, and we adapt and overcome.
Right. And now to get back to what you just said for those adjustments. Now, obviously, you being a head coach, you can't have your eyes. You can't be everywhere. This is why we have a staff.
That's right.
How important do you think it is for guys on your staff? Like, how do you think the other coaches on your team, that are like the offensive coordinator, like Karan Coleman, the quarterback whisperer, and also the offensive coordinator, like guys like Coach Ayala, how important is their roles too? And do you feel like whenever you're not there, they're an extension of you to the boys?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we wouldn't have the success. So you got to understand, me being a head coach, I don't have a secretary or administrative assistant. So all of the paperwork that has to be done for this program, I got to do it. So I have to rely heavily on my coordinators, Karan Coleman, Cornelius McNeil, and my associate head coach, Nate Schallenberger. I have to rely heavily on my assistant coaches and my coordinators to get the job done. And I have a phenomenal staff. I have a staff full of head coaches in their own right. Like, they need to be head coaches at programs. And I shared this with you earlier that in my 8 years of being a head coach, I've been blessed because I'm big, having an NFL background, I'm big on coaching tree. So I'm blessed to have put out 6 high school head coaches. And I have several on my staff now as we speak. So when I leave, when I have to go to a meeting that's off campus or go to a meeting that's in the building and we still are at practice or in the athletic period, we don't skip a beat because I have a group of leaders, men who are leaders and head coaches in their own right that just take over the program, and And so when you have a staff like that, one of the things I think Tony Dungy says in his book, Quiet Storm, he said, as a head coach, you should not be the smartest person on the staff. You shouldn't. You should surround yourself with guys who are smarter and better coaches than you. And I truly have that. And that's why we're so successful at Hightower High School. That's why we're so successful, because I have coaches that are phenomenal coaches, phenomenal men, and who know football backwards and forwards, in and out, and also know how to run a program. So when I'm not here for whatever reason, we don't skip a beat.
Absolutely. It's still the same. It's still the same. Come to work, get your grind in.
That's it.
Same standard. Same standard. Right.
Same standard. We don't fall off. We don't miss a beat. And I'm thankful for my staff.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're successful the way that we are. Because, like I said, I got a staff full of head coaches.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. But they left for the league, right? They can be, no doubt about it. Can be
No doubt about it.
Anywhere in Texas.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
So what is the most, now, as a head coach, now obviously you've done a lot of winning in your career. You got a lot of winning, that's the best feeling in the world. What's the most, I want to ask you, if that's the case, I probably did already answer, what's the most rewarding and the most fulfilling part of your job?
The most rewarding and most fulfilling part of my job is when, remember, winning is just a byproduct of what my intentions are,
right,
what we really do. So the most rewarding and fulfilling part of my job is when I have a former player call me and say, Coach, I want to invite you to my wedding. When I have a former player call me and say, Coach, I need advice on X, Y, and Z. Can you help me out? Or or Coach, hey, I'm graduating from college. I want to invite you to my graduation party. Because this, for me, this is more than just football and the X's and O's. We do life. You know what I mean? Like this, it's a brotherhood, and I have become a father figure and a mentor and a role model to a lot of my players. When they call me and say, Coach, I need a recommendation letter. Can you write one for me? Coach, I need mentorship in this area. Can you help? Like, to me, that's the most rewarding and fulfilling part of my job, is helping my players become the young men that I know that they are. And like I said, because we've involved and intentionally invested so much in these young men, winning is a byproduct. We win because we have quality young men in our program.
Absolutely. And of course, quality men leading the way.
Yes.
Like you said, it's no
definitely.
Like I said, you can have quality coach, you can be a coach-led team, but a player-led team is going to get you a lot farther. Y'all have, like I said, when you have quality men leading the way, it's only going to root quality young men,
correct,
also to lead their other teammates. Now, I love that identity that y'all have. And I was going to ask you next, I know it's a little too early, but do you kind of have an idea or a tunnel vision of what the identity for this year's team is going to be? We're looking at a ground and pound team. I heard you say about Campbell and Mill. That kid can absolutely sling it and has real good ball placement too on those 50-yard bombs. As the offense going to, is it still going to be that tough defense and ground and pound? Or you don't know yet till you.
Yeah, it's really too early to tell. Our first game against Clear Falls is going, it definitely can give us a hint or an indicator of what type of team we're going to have, but it's really too early to tell. The thing is, we have so many weapons, especially offensively, and only one ball. So it's just trying to, satisfy everybody, make sure everybody get their touches. Defensively, flying around and just having relentless swarm and effort. But it's, as far as like right now, it's just kind of early to tell. I just know this. I can say this from being at Hightower for, going on my 4th year and comparing this team to the ones in the past. Like, I just feel like it is finally starting to come together from not just a player standpoint, but like even like the parental support and just everybody, the community support, everybody just standing behind us and really, supporting us and enabling us to really put on for Mo City. Like, that's the slogan. We put on for Mo City. And so I think this year's going to be special. This year's going to be special. And so as far as identity, it's kind of hard to tell right now, but as long as they do these 3 things, play fast, play hard, commit to excellence, and execute the game plan, we should be successful. One of the things I tell our guys is the only team that can beat the Hightower Hurricanes or the Hightower
Hurricanes.
That's it.
Mentally.
That's the only team that can beat us. It's us. when we play and fire on all cylinders and play our brand of football, we are unstoppable. And we've, set so many program records this past year when we played our brand of football. And so the only team that can stop us is us. So I think the main thing is, will we execute at the level that we need to execute at in order to be successful? If the answer is yes, look out.
Look out. Absolutely. Going to be a very dangerous team.
Look out.
Look
Yes,
out.
sir.
No doubt about
Yes,
it.
sir.
I like that age, and that's what they instill in your guys. And the only thing that can help stop us is us eventually. It's us versus us mentality.
That's
us
it.
versus us mentality. That's the kind of mentality you have to have. Last question for you, Coach. I'm going to wrap it up. Now, I do want to ask now, off football stuff, of course, you're a father of four, like you stated earlier, and I'm pretty sure like in the off season before you got to get started and rebuilding your team and picking your teams and all that good stuff, I'm pretty sure there's a process that you go through to get your mind kind of wind down off the game of football. What are some hobbies and stuff you like to do outside of football to kind of get your mind before it's back to rolling again, back to spring again?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, believe it or not, and it's probably every football player, like I hoop. I play basketball.
Oh, really?
I play ball probably 2 to 3 times a week. So I wake up in the morning and I go hoop. And so I love to play basketball. I love, the only thing that kept me from playing, college ball is I'm not 6'8", I'm not 6'9".
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what made you not want to play basketball,
yeah,
huh?
I'm not 6'8", I'm not 6'9", but I hoop and I love to hoop. So that's something that I'm going to do until I can't do anymore. I also love to play golf.
Oh, really?
I'm an avid golfer. I love to play golf, but most importantly, I love spending time with my family. So anytime I can take a vacation and go places with my family, my wife and our 4 kids, we have a great time together. My kids are older now, so I got 3 in college. I got a son that's here that's a sophomore, so they are literally, my wife and my kids are like literally my best friends. And so we have a phenomenal time when we go places together. And so just spending time with family, hooping and playing golf, that's all I need. If I can do those things, I'm Gucci, like to say.
I know what the young generation say.
Yeah,
I'm Gucci.
I'm Gucci if I can do those things.
You know, might be a loop on this part. The golf thing come when you got a little bit older. Now that's the thing when you got to get older.
Yes.
You always a naturally with the golf. Okay.
No, it was something I picked up in college. I had a lot of teammates that played golf, and it's challenging. And so the thing about golf is, regardless of how athletic you are, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, no.
It's all technique and all skill. And so it's a game that is extremely frustrating if you don't put the time in, and so it's a challenge. I love challenges. That's what makes me go. When you present a challenge to me, I'm built to where I have to overcome that challenge. You know what I mean? And so that's how golf is for me. It is that sport or that thing that I know I'll never be able to dominate, but I'm gonna probably end up trying.
Right, I know that's right. Never having that quitters mentality.
Right.
And it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge this year, but nevertheless, y'all are definitely gonna overcome it this year. Thank you again so much for your time, for coming on the show. And that's gonna be a wrap for Shooting for the Stars podcast with y'all's one and only Coach Anthony. And if you're anybody in the Houston or Fresno, Missouri City area, y'all definitely come out this football season to come check out and come support the Hightower Hurricanes. And I will see y'all in the next episode. Y'all make sure to please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what y'all want to hear next. And I will see y'all in the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams.
They got a lot of feelings, but I got that green on my eyes and that ain't no Donnie Simpson. I retire you niggas, fuck you in your position. They play so them some slippery niggas can't even kick it. Y'all rambling, talking shit to these bitches. You know you real, you don't say it. You know you real, we gon' feel it. Ralph.